Ozonics Killerwinds podcast, back again. Who are you? Who am I? Let's go. Episode 101.
101.
101 Dalmatians, baby. 101. One more than 100. I can't think of anything else.
Two more than 99.
There you go. 9 more to 110.
Yep.
Anyway, all right. So today we are talking about, it's April, and we're on the brink of something really exciting. Should we even whisper it? I don't even know if we should say it. I think everybody knows. We've already talked about it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Turkey season. We're on the brink of turkey season. Pretty excited about it. But the other thing to think about is August is 4 months away. That means September is 5 months away. That means
October is 6.
And then the next month is 7.
Yes.
But what I was really trying to say is that it's getting to be that time of year that if you're planning a trip, you're probably in full planning mode.
Yeah.
But maybe you aren't planning a trip. Maybe you're just like, man, I don't know if I want to do something this year. You know, gosh, it gets expensive. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. The excuses can pile up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to talk about today is easy, fun trips that you can plan that aren't going to break the bank.
And preferably, too, that you don't need to get points for.
Yes.
You can just go do it.
Yeah. The reality is, in the world that we're living in now, that if you like to go west, to go elk hunting especially, it's gotten a little bit tougher over the last couple of years, especially now.
Mm-hmm.
Almost all these western states are draw.
Right.
Idaho, that isn't draw. You still have to try to get that tag. There's still some available here and there, but for the most part, by December 10th, and if you don't get it then, you're not getting it.
Yeah.
Right? And so planning a trip to do some of that stuff, if you haven't already started doing it now, it can be a bit discouraging. You're like, dang, I don't think I can do that, you know?
Yeah.
But there are so many other cool things to go do out west or all throughout the Midwest or the Canadas or Alaska or South. There's a lot of fun things that you can do if you haven't really planned a trip yet and you're thinking, oh man, I guess this year is just going to be a wash. Not necessarily.
Yeah.
We are going to go in no particular order. I thought we could go in order of like cheapest to most expensive, but then I just think we just shoot from the hip.
Yeah, shoot from the hip.
Yeah. So I'm going to just start with the one that I would recommend right off the bat. I think you already know what I'm going to say. If you're looking to go do something fun this fall, between June and end of September, I know where I would go. I would go to Alaska. That's what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
I think the more as time goes by, and obviously you've heard me say this before, Alaska, I really like Alaska. I like to try to spend as much time as I possibly can there. When you talk to people about it, be like, oh man, I've never been there. Or, man, I don't even know where to start or what I would do or where I would go. You know, for a lot of people, it feels like a foreign place, right? But it's only a couple airplanes. You just get on one of those airplanes. You're only a couple airplane rides away from being there.
Yeah.
And if you work it out right, you can get it nonstop.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the nice thing. First off is it's not really that bad. And it's not going to cost you thousands and thousands of dollars to fly to Alaska.
Right.
You would think it does, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
They're not that expensive, especially if you just fly economy and, you know.
Not Frontier, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'll learn that lesson. Wow, these flights are so cheap. I must have found the golden ticket. Nope. I found the poop ticket is what I found. I found the worst ticket ever in the world. Sorry, I don't usually diss on things, but I don't. I had a bad Frontier Airlines experience.
Yeah.
2 words. Baggage fees. Yeah. Yeah, there's a catch. When you're on the line and you're like, man, this is such a good deal. What's the catch? Who cares? Buy. There's a catch. So be careful, Frontier Airlines. Sun Country Airlines, had great luck with them. All the rest of the major ones had great luck with them too. Alaska Airlines, great luck with them. Not so much on the Frontier Airlines side. Yeah. Travel cautiously or with very little luggage.
Yeah.
Yeah. But get yourself to Alaska. If you're going to Alaska, if you've never been, you're going to fly into Anchorage, most likely. That's usually I think that's like pretty much where everything goes right off the bat. But from Anchorage, there's so much to do. You could fly into Anchorage. You could rent a car for a couple days. A lot of Alaska obviously is only accessible via, planes, but there still are some awesome major road systems that you can see some beautiful country just right off the highway.
Yeah.
You could fly into Anchorage. You could rent a car. You could drive down what they call the Seward Highway, which goes like south of Anchorage. You could go down to Seward. You could come back up the highway. You could go over till Soldotna. And then you could come back to Anchorage. You could all do that. You go down to Seward and Soldotna, drive down there in a day, stay in Soldotna, and then drive back to Anchorage. You could drive up north and go towards, Denali / Mount McKinley, right? And see that. You could drive through the Chugach Mountains and go towards Tok. You could go up to Fairbanks. There's tons of places you can go on just the roads it's just unbelievable, beautiful country.
Yeah, exactly.
Just going there to sightsee is just quite an experience in and of itself. Even in Anchorage, there's tons of stuff to do. The 49th State, that's an awesome restaurant. It's like a restaurant / brewery. They have the best clam chowder ever. Get a big bowl. Not the cup, get the bowl.
Yeah.
Get the bowl. And yeah, oh man, that clam chowder is so good. They actually have a 49th State in the airport now.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. But if you're looking to do more than just sightseeing, I would recommend Soldotna. The Kenai River goes right through Soldotna, and all the salmon are running that time of year through the summer. There's tons of places that you can book fishing trips, little charters, day trips, couple day trips, whatever it might be. And that stuff doesn't break the bank. And you bring back unbelievable fish, like just unbelievable, just beautiful, beautiful fish. And it tastes amazing. You can do that right out of Soldotna. You can do that right out of Homer. You can do that right out of Seward,
Yeah.
all right accessible from the roads. So there's a ton to do, and you can really kind of experience Alaska.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend a trip. June, July, August, September. And then if you're like, oh man, I can't make the summer work, my August is busy. If you go in September, if you go mid to late September, you can hit it during peak color when all the aspens and everything are just on fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just look beautiful. All the yellows and reds and oranges. It's just beautiful, beautiful. Tons of yellow.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of yellow. But you can see all of that. And again, September, everything kind of starts shutting down. The hunting seasons are still in full swing, But yeah, September's a beautiful time to do those drives as well. Even just to go up to Alaska, go up to Anchorage, Lake Hood is right there, which is this sea or like airplane, float plane lake that everybody flies in and off of. There's a name for it. I'm drawing a blank here, but you could do a charter and go up and fly by Denali Mount McKinley, whatever you want to call it. You can fly up by that. You could fly through the Chugach Mountains. There's tons of stuff to do. Beautiful country to see. It's really, really worth the trip.
Yeah.
Not just even just have to go there for hunting or just go there for fishing. You can go there for sightseeing. It's a beautiful place to check out.
Yeah.
And obviously June through September is really that time to be there.
Time to go.
Yep. So that would be the first place I would say is take a trip to Alaska.
Yeah.
What do you think?
About?
Hey, if you were going to go on a trip you didn't have a plan yet and you're trying to plan it before the fall, what would you do?
Ooh. Gosh, I really don't know.
Oh, I know what you would do.
What?
Northern Minnesota. Do some fishing.
Oh yeah.
You go up there with your family.
Yeah, I go up there probably every summer.
There you go.
Years past we'd go up there multiple times.
What lakes do you go to?
We fish around Mille Lacs and like Gull Lake and stuff like that for the most part, but I've been up to Lake of the Woods.
Yep.
Which that was really crazy. It was pretty cool. that trip we used a charter, and we stayed at. They had a bunch of cabins and stuff, and then went out with a guide and stuff like that. But we were fishing right on the Minnesota-Canada border, basically.
Yeah.
It was like something crazy. I think it was like a 28-mile boat ride.
Isn't that
all
something?
the way, because we were trying to get past some weather and stuff like that. But yeah, that was super fun. It was just kind of like Cole's explained with Alaska. Alaska.
Sound like you said Cole's explaining on his lack side.
Yeah. But it did just feel like you were in a different world up there. I mean, it's just the water's so big, you know. So it was really cool, really cool to be up there. And yeah, like I said, I mean, where we are in Iowa, I mean, that's not a bad drive at all.
Oh yeah,
you just burn up there, and
you can get to northern Minnesota in 6 hours.
Yeah, and
it's
then
not that bad.
And it's the same thing for Wisconsin too. I mean, place that my family always went to, and we did a lot of hiking and backpacking and stuff like that, was called the Porcupine Mountains in the UP of Michigan. It's basically just a huge kind of national forest type deal right on Lake Superior, and a lot of great memories up there, a lot of really cool places to see. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it feels like a different world up there. It's really something to see. And you know, you hear that it's in the UP of Michigan and feel like it's this huge long drive, but it's really not that bad.
No.
You know?
No, it's not at all.
And that's a really cool place to go in the winter too, if you're into snowmobiling and stuff like that. My buddies and I, we would go up there.
There's trails for
you can
hundreds
ride.
and hundreds and hundreds of miles.
Yeah, you can ride forever up there. And but yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of really cool places that you can get to just by driving too, you know. And then, you know, the Midwest is also just a great place just for hunting. I mean, I feel like the Midwest is kind of like a little nook of the country that you can still get over-the-counter stuff. I mean, Iowa you can't, but Wisconsin you can, Illinois, Missouri.
But even Iowa, if you play your cards right.
And you could hunt every other year pretty much. Probably.
Yeah. Before we get into that, I was going to say, when you're talking about the fishing, right? We're talking about Alaska. We're talking about northern Minnesota. Even Iowa, you know, my wife and I, with her family, we go to Lake Okoboji every June. And I always line out like a fishing charter with a guy named Shane, super nice guy. And we do it for 4 hours. We just do like a half a day.
Yeah.
And we go out and we catch more crappies than we know what to do with.
Yeah.
Right. And Jet just loves to just catch something. I'm not a big fisherman. And it's not that I don't love to fish, but I don't have all the gear.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the thing, like with Alaska or northern Minnesota or even Iowa, you can find these outfitters, these guides that will take you.
Yeah.
They've got all the gear.
Yeah.
You're talking about going into northern Minnesota snowmobiling, northern Minnesota or Canada ice fishing.
Yeah.
You see that stuff on Instagram all the time where you just show up. Make sure you got your hunting, make sure you got your fishing license. They've got the rods, they've got the reel, they've got the tackle, they've got the ice house, they've got the fish finders, they got everything going.
Yeah.
You know, all you have to do is just show up. So there's a lot of opportunity for that stuff where, you know, you don't have to be like, oh man, you sometimes feel like the barrier to entry can be tough. Not necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. And that is a great point for sure. And I think that's why, you know, this is probably goes without saying, but like that's why northern Minnesota and northern Wisconsin is so fun for fishing, because you hook up the boat and you go up there, and I mean, within 10 minutes you can be at 4 different lakes, you know what I mean? So there's just so much opportunity up there to find water that you can fish and stuff like that. So it's really fun to go up there. We try and make it a point to go up every summer, and then I take a couple trips with buddies and stuff just on the weekends, and it's a heck of a lot of fun, man.
Yeah. But getting back to what you were saying there as well, you know, there is so much opportunity in the Midwest to get tags over the counter.
Yeah.
And inherently with Iowa, a lot of people are like, oh man, how many years is it going to take me to draw? And that's true if you're specifically going after archery.
Yeah.
But if you're a little bit more, you know, accommodating or lenient on what weapon you may take, you could hunt Iowa, or what part of the state you're going to be in.
Yeah.
You could hunt Iowa every other year. For sure.
If you get, if you get lucky. I mean, I feel like there could be times where
maybe
you
not.
might.
But I think if you were doing like second shotgun or late muzzleloader, even early muzzleloader, in the northern half of Iowa or western half of Iowa, where it doesn't take near as many points, I would think you could get it.
Can you get an early muzzleloader as a non-resident?
Well, maybe, I don't know.
Or is that just
Maybe
for
not.
residents?
Maybe it's only for residents. I thought it was for non-residents.
I can't remember.
Man, I don't know. Maybe it is only for residents.
Yeah,
It's a great question.
Either way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, but there are lots of parts of the state that you could get it more often than once every 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Or the other thing, again, it's too late for that now, but for next year, turkey season. Now that's a draw, but you can put in, and there's pretty good odds of drawing for Iowa.
Yeah.
But again, getting back to the whole deer thing, there's so much stuff that you can do in the Midwest, Illinois, Missouri, Wisconsin. There's so many, Ohio, Indiana. There's all these states that have got Kentucky. There's a bunch of states that got great whitetails, but over the counter that you can just go there, buy a tag, and go.
Pennsylvania, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Pennsylvania, go hunt public land.
Nebraska.
Yeah, Nebraska. There's tons of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that hard, especially if you're living in Iowa or the Midwest, just to jump in the car and in 4 to 6 hours,
yeah, you're there.
You can be where you need to be.
Yeah.
And, I would definitely say don't be afraid to hunt public land. I think hunting public land when I go to other places, man, it's fun. Like that's an adventure. There's a lot of it can be tricky. You know what I mean? Like
There's a lot of
I like
challenge
that.
to it.
Yeah, I like the challenge of it all. So, like I said, don't be afraid to go. You know what? I want to go to Nebraska, go hunt whitetails. And so when you start going west of the Mississippi and you get west of Iowa, you can do some of those whitetail hunts earlier. Which is kind of fun. Or if you really want to get after it, man, Kentucky velvet, everybody's excited about that.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of that going on as well. So yeah. So like I said, don't overlook the Midwest in doing an over-the-counter deer hunt. But even more than just deer, if you like to pheasant hunt, man, there is great pheasant hunting. South Dakota, Iowa, there's some great pheasant hunting around here too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I haven't really branched out like really at all. I mean, I drew a Wisconsin turkey tag and I bought Wisconsin tags 2 years ago for deer hunting, but that don't really feel like branching out just because I was hunting at my house or where I live there, where my parents live. So, but yeah, I was definitely looking at some stuff for turkey hunting. Obviously I was kind of late to the game, but I think that would be really fun to get a trip planned and go somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe try and kill Merriam or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Be really cool.
If I were wanting to go west and didn't draw an elk tag or didn't put in at the right time or, was displaced because of something, I know one thing that I would go do is I would go do antelope in a western state. Antelope, over-the-counter, public land. There's a bunch of great opportunity for that.
Mm-hmm.
In the month of August, really the pre-rut, you can get out there and you can hunt them over water. You can hunt them, however you want to. It's really, really fun to chase antelope. I love that. I would highly recommend that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take that much. You could, like even right now, you could literally jump in your truck, put your gear, have a ground blind or no ground blind or however you want to do it, and get out there and hunt antelope. And there's plenty of public ground, whether that's in Montana, Wyoming, Colorado. There's a bunch of great opportunity for antelope. That's one thing that I would do if I was going to go out west and I couldn't go elk hunting. I would go kill an antelope. Then my number 2 would be try to go kill a mule deer somewhere.
Yeah.
Cool thing about mule deer too is they live in such a vast differing of environments and terrain. You could go and hunt them in the high desert.
Yeah.
And just you can hunt them in the rolling high desert or just the high desert. You can hunt them in the rolling hills. You can hunt them in the foothills, or you can go way, way up on the top of the mountain if you want to. You can hunt them high, like higher elevations if you want to too. There's a bunch of great opportunity for mule deer with a bow, with a gun, whatever it might be. So I would definitely say that too. Mule deer hunt would be right up there for me too. If I was like, man, I want to go to do something right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a buddy that was kind of in that situation last year. It got to be the first part of the summer and he got the itch and he's like, golly, partly because I was talking about, Alaska and everything a lot. And he's like, gosh, I really want to go do something. And I'm like, go do it. Go do it. And he's like, man, I'd really love to go elk hunting. And I'm like, yeah, I hear you. and he ended up lining out a cow elk hunt. That's the other thing. If obviously everybody wants to shoot a big bull or, and have the antlers, but I'll tell you what tastes better than the antlers, the meat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of great opportunity in Western states to go shoot a cow elk, whether you do a DIY or you can call a lot of these outfitters, whether they have cow elk hunts listed or even just to call and say, hey, would you guys do a cow elk hunt? You know what I mean? And the cool thing about that is that's usually a little bit later. It's going to be into later half of November, December. You know what I mean? It's usually towards the end of their season. Pretty laid back. That's one thing I would love to do with Jet. I would love to take him out there to kill a cow elk. Man, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
And the hides, when they start to get, they're all furred up, and man, to get a nice big cow elk like hide, how awesome that would be.
Right. Yeah, that would be cool.
That'd be so cool. I'll tell you the other thing that I would say, we're talking a lot about hunting, but I know one thing that I overlook, and it feels like once a year, it seems like it kind of like spurs in my mind, like, gosh, I need to go do that. There are so many unbelievable national parks. I mean, just off the top, Yellowstone, Yosemite, just look at South Dakota, look at the Black Hills, all of that, the Badlands. There's so much out there, even just not that far away from us right here to go see.
Yeah.
You can not have to drive that far, and all of a sudden you're looking at buffalo. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And mountain goats and cool stuff like that. So, and then to go bigger, the Grand Canyon, you know what I mean? The Grand Canyon, that's a bit of a drive from the Midwest, but still that is beautiful. The Grand Canyon's not that far away. So, but with those national parks too, I think one of the things that I would love to do with some of that is do like a hiking trip to some of those national parks and then hike and camp. A good buddy of mine, he does that a lot. They'll go and hike. They're hiking like the Grand Teton National Forest, stuff like that. They'll go. That's really close to Yellowstone. You know what I mean? Even on the east side of the U.S., the Appalachian Trail, Smoky Mountains. There's a bunch of beautiful, beautiful country. Don't overlook going on a hiking trip.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can go on a hiking / fishing trip.
Right.
My brother-in-law and I did that years ago. We were just chomping at the bit to go out west, and we're like, you know what? We ended up going into the high country in Colorado to these remote mountain lakes and backpacked and fished and just had a heck of a good time.
Yeah.
That's literally all we did. It's not like it's that much gear, fishing rod, little tackle box.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It doesn't take an arm and a leg.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
And so, don't be afraid to go on a hiking trip. There's so many beautiful national parks.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've never been to Yosemite. I've never been to Yosemite, and I've never been to Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Gosh, I want to go to Yellowstone so bad.
Yeah, I haven't been up there either.
Yeah. I was going to say, I know something completely not related to anything that we're talking about that I would go do if I was going to just go for a weekend trip. Nothing to do with hunting. You know what I would go do?
What?
Dirt track race. Specifically, sprint cars.
Yeah.
If you said
road trip.
If you said, Cole, you can go do something, but it can't be anything related to hunting, what would you do? Dirt track race. 1,000%.
Yeah.
Gosh, I love me a good dirt track race. Golly. I don't know what it is. It's like the need for speed, man. And the need for speed and then the loudness. Golly. That's like the perfect storm.
Yeah, definitely. It's really cool.
Something
it's a lot
about
of fun,
it.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's like, I don't know, something about dirt track racing and just knowing how passionate those people are about all that, how much they're into it. I just love that.
Yeah.
If I couldn't go on a hunting trip, I would go on a dirt track trip.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be really fun. Do it in the winter time or something.
Oh yeah. Chili bowl.
Yeah. I don't know what I would do if I had to choose, even for hunting, really.
Really?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Huh. If you told me right now, Cole, you can't go to Alaska, you got to go do something else, what would I do? Man, that's a tough one. Inherently, I don't know why I keep saying inherently. If you told me right now that I couldn't go to Alaska and I had to go do something else, what would I do? Man, that's a tough one. I think I lean towards trying to figure out something I could go do a jet, someplace I could take him. You know, when I think about jet, I think about black bear hunting. I think about Canada, just because that would be really, really fun, or going somewhere where you can hunt over bait.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like a pretty enjoyable experience, and it's pretty laid back.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah. There was, for some reason, when we were at the shows this year, I was thinking a lot about that for you. I was like, I think I told you that, and I was like, you know what? Why don't we find a place where you can go shoot a spring black bear, and I'll just go with you.
Yeah.
Because I would love to see you shoot a black bear. I think you'd really enjoy that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just never had the itch for anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I really don't. I don't know. I just really, really like. I love the hunting around here, and I just I don't know. I just never even really thought about it.
Yeah, no, I think I mean I totally understand.
I think the one thing that I think would be kind of cool and a little bit unique would do like a Montana Merriam hunt or something.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be really, really fun. That'd be really cool to do that.
Or Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado
or
something like that.
South Dakota. There's a bunch of great turkeys in South Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
Golly. Kansas.
Yeah.
Just to go somewhere where you can shoot a Merriam. Obviously,
Yeah.
if we're talking about Kansas, we're talking about Western Kansas, Western Nebraska. But yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Or like a whitetail, like a Montana whitetail would be really sweet too, I think. I think that'd be really fun too.
Yeah, whenever I think about whitetails out west, I always think about hunting them early.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hunting them.
Big alfalfa fields and stuff like that.
Yeah, spotting and stalking.
Yeah.
Or just trying to play that cat and mouse game and get them, you kind of see them night after night, or you see them at night and then you go try to make a move.
Yeah.
And just, get lucky. I think that would be really, really fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it's all green, or, or even those like whitetail or mule deer hunts where you're doing that, where you're stalking through that kind of rolling country,
mm-hmm.
and you're making a move on a buck and trying to just get the contour in your favor and, look up over and shoot him. That would be pretty killer.
Yeah, that'd be really sweet. Be really, really cool.
The other thing that we haven't even mentioned, which it's interesting because even at Ozonics, the people that work here, we're on opposite ends of the spectrum, right? Because you've got you and me up here in Iowa, doing the Iowa thing, doing the Midwest. We're having trouble talking today. Have us up here doing the Midwest thing, but you've got Scott and Buddy down in Texas doing the Texas thing, doing the Southern thing. And I think that's the other thing to mention is if you're living in that part of the country, or even if you're from around here, there is great opportunity to go down to Texas and do a pig hunt.
Yeah.
Right? Man, oh man. All throughout the year. It's not like it's a certain specific time. You go there anytime.
Right.
Hard thing about the summer is it's just so deadly hot.
Yeah.
But again, axis deer. God, I love shooting axis deer. That'd be so awesome. Axis deer throughout the year or in the summertime. You know what I mean? And that's the other thing to think about too. One thing about the southern states for us guys in the Midwest is our brains are naturally wired towards October, November. But really when everything starts to slow down in the Midwest is when it really starts to ramp up in the South.
Yeah, exactly.
Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, all of that. Florida. All of a sudden, when everything starts to slow down here, you get into December and January. All of a sudden, that's when the rut goes into full swing.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, you can go to New Mexico. You can go west again and south, and you can hit that mule deer rut.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
When they really start cranking up down there.
Yeah.
And everything is really slowed down here. So that's a really great thing a really cool thing to do too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, chasing mule deer during the rut is really, really something. Obviously, mule deer are naturally just a little bit more passive than whitetails.
Yeah.
But when the rut's on, you kind of just like, in my mind, I think of that kind of iconic, situation of just that mule deer buck just following dog and that doe,
Yeah, exactly.
on a river bottom with cottonwoods, the whole thing. There's a great opportunity to do that out west as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool to do that too.
Yeah. If I told you right now you had to either go hunt mule deer or antelope, what would you do?
Mule deer for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
If you told me I had to go do mule deer or antelope, man, I don't know. That is a tough one. Oh, man, I don't know. Probably antelope, just because I think antelope are so cool.
Yeah.
They're so different.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then mule deer right after that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Big old muley.
So the other thing you could go do, which this is the type of fishing I like to do if I'm going to go fishing, little sport fishing.
What do you mean
I've
sport
only
fishing?
got to go sport fishing one time, like sport fishing in Florida, sport fishing in Texas, and
like
for,
on the coast and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, for king mackerel or who knows what. I don't even know what they're all called. Sailfish or all sorts of cool stuff. Mahi. That's in Hawaii.
Yeah.
But
Hunu ku apua.
yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, go on a cool fishing trip.
Yeah.
Not only we're obviously talking about the Midwest, but that would be really fun to catch a big old honker donker. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's what they're called.
Yeah, but I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah. Hey, we're all over the map today, okay?
Yeah,
we're throwing out lots of ideas.
Yeah.
Moral of the story is get out there and do something, man. Don't think that you're like, oh, well, I don't have anything planned. Man, it doesn't take a year in advance to work some of this stuff out. And it doesn't break the bank either.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Couple tanks of gas, fishing license, hunting license, the gear that you already have, and you're on your way.
You're rocking and rolling.
Yeah. I think that I know how I am. Whenever I think I'm like, oh, okay, here's all the stuff I need to get. But I could just go with what I've got.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
make a trip happen.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah. I think we all go, oh man, if I'm going to go do that, I need this and this.
that.
Or you just go do it.
Make it work.
Yeah, go do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never been on a hunting trip for myself. I just realized.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know why I just thought that, but that's really weird to think about.
One of my first hunting trips that I went on, I was in high school. My buddy of mine invited me up to northern Minnesota to go deer hunting on this little lease that his dad and his brothers maybe had.
Yeah.
At this cabin. And we went up there and didn't see a deer. Froze. But it was super cool being in the hunting cabin.
Yeah, definitely.
It was really cool being in the hunting cabin and saw wolf tracks.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing about taking a trip. I feel like when we do this fishing stuff, I feel like it's not even about the fishing.
Oh no, never.
You know what
is.
I mean? It's just like to drive up there, hanging out, like you're just in a different place, try a new restaurant,
Well, you're absolutely right. I'll tell you what. I know exactly what you're describing. When years ago, I was in my early 20s, I did a black bear hunt in Northwest Ontario. We've talked about this before. I wanted to go black bear hunting. And so I planned this trip, couldn't find anybody to go with me, so I just went. But I remember when I got into Canada, I went through International Falls and I got into Canada and I stopped in that first town right there. It's probably International Falls or whatever it was, a little town outside there. And I went to like a McDonald's and they had a whole different menu.
Yeah.
And then I went into a gas station and it wasn't just English on the label, it was French.
Yeah.
And like all these little idiosyncrasies of life was different. And I remember just being like, oh, I am going to like this.
Yeah.
And it just was really interesting. I got to go black bear hunting and then I went to a county fair. I actually got to go to dirt track race and just to see how people lived and see what they did.
Yeah.
Even just the county fair, how they like the rides and the games and the things that they did, the way that they talked and things that were important to them is just really interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the funnest parts when you go on things is you kind of see a different way of life.
Yeah.
You see a different part of the country, a different part of the world,
Right.
different people's perspective.
Yeah.
It's just really, really fun about it.
Yeah, definitely.
And most of all, like you said, it's not about the fish. It's not about the animal. It's about the camaraderie. It's about that relationship. It's about, getting to spend time together.
Yeah.
It's a huge thing.
Something you can talk about.
I mean, we're going to be talking about that next week on the podcast. Youth season is on the brink. And youth season's about youth hunting, but it's really more than that. It's about just getting to spend time with your son, your daughter, your brother-in-law, your niece, your nephew, and getting to spend time together and make memories.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. It's funny you say that. We actually were just in Wisconsin, and I saw a friend of mine that's an Alaskan guide, and we were talking about, they're there trying to book hunts, right? And he made a comment. He goes, "Yeah, we're always looking, we're looking to have good conversation and stuff." But he goes, "But it's about more than that." He's like, a lot of times we're not just looking for the guy that just wants the sheep or the moose or the caribou or the grizzly bear. He's like, we're looking for people that really want to really soak in and become a part of the adventure.
Yeah, exactly.
And the animal is just, it's
Cherry
just like,
on top.
oh man, it's icing on the cake. He's like, but we really want that person that's looking for the adventure, that really wants to buy in to being in the mountains, being in the backcountry, being in the bush, being on the tundra and seeing everything, experiencing it.
Yeah.
And I think if you have that type of focus, no matter what happens, it ends up turning out being a great trip. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
Like if we go to Lake Okoboji and the whole time, and Jed would never do this, but he's like, it's 13-inch crappies or nothing, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna catch 40 or 50 9, 10 inchers, which are great crappies. You know what I mean? Like heck yeah. Maybe you catch one 13-incher. You know what I mean? One 12-incher. Or whatever. And it's just like it's not all about that. It's just about being there and being on the lake and joking around and having fun and
exactly
all the rest of it.
Yep.
Yeah. Nope, you're absolutely right. That is kind of crazy that you've never been on a trip for yourself. That's why I was saying, let's go get you a black bear. Let's go shoot a black bear. Let's go on a black bear hunt. Why don't we go black bear hunting?
Yeah. My time will come.
You know what I think we should go do? I should try to figure out a way for you to get to go do a rifle elk hunt.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be right up your alley.
Yeah.
Right up your alley.
Yeah, I would do that for sure.
Because I'd love to take you on an archery elk hunt, but we've kind of experienced a little bit of that. Not that I don't think you could do it, but I think a rifle hunt would be way more conducive. It gives you not from like a physical part of it, but from a opens up the opportunity.
Yeah.
Gives you more flexibility.
Yeah, definitely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We know on an archery elk hunt, you're going to have to get up close and personal.
Really close. Yeah.
But you can still get up close and personal. Tell you what, I'll never forget. I had a guy one time came on a rifle elk hunt. And, you always tell a guy, like, how far do you feel comfortable shooting? Oh, I feel good out to 300. Okay. This guy said, I feel good out to 700 yards. You're like, really? Yep. Well, we had a 1,000-yard range. So I'm like, well, do you mind dinging them for me? Sure, absolutely no problem. Dings them out to 700. Ding, ding, all the way. I'm like, that'll work.
Yeah.
He shot his elk at like 60 yards.
That's funny.
It's like, really?
Yeah.
Honestly, the guy that could shoot half a mile, shoots it at 60 yards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to take you on a rifle elk hunt. That would be so awesome.
Yeah, I would definitely do that.
Man, that'd be so cool. I'd love to take you on an archery elk hunt too. Oh, man, where we go to an archery elk hunt? Lance. Oh, man, that would be the place to go for an archery elk hunt.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, baby. Well, our buddy Wayne's going to go there. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, that is so awesome. Yeah, he texted me the other day about that. Hey, man, I'm going. Next year, man, I'm going.
That's really cool.
That is cool. Oh,
Little
yeah.
Lance.
I just want to see you hold a big bull elk. even a medium-sized one.
Yeah, 300 incher. I'll take that.
280, 260,
280,
just a
come on,
bull elk would be cool.
Yeah. No, that would be really, really cool. I mean, obviously, I feel like elk is like the one thing that like a lot of people kind of have on their bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
Or especially in like the whitetail world, I feel like. I mean, people are obviously really gung-ho about whitetails, but I feel like if you ask a lot of people are like, oh, I'd love to kill an elk.
Yeah, the elk have been my arch nemesis for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Did a lot of guiding for him, had a lot of success that way. But man, oh man, when it comes to my own hunts, it just seems like everything goes the opposite direction.
Yeah, yeah.
But again, it's not all about killing them, and I've had a blast doing it. And if I never kill an elk my whole life, it won't be the end of the world.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, elk are pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are just a wild animal. They're just crazy.
Well, and even like how they have ivory teeth and all that is really, really bizarre. There's only a few animals in the world that have ivory.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just kind of bizarre how they ended up with it.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, some of that stuff. And I think the thing that really interests me about elk, we've talked about this before, is they're naturally actually a plains animal.
Mm-hmm.
We've actually just kind of hunted them out of those areas, and the place that they still live is in the high country.
Yeah.
You know, they really feel like the kings of the high country.
Yeah.
There's just something about them that is really, really neat.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, they're.
And I think that's what kind of enamors everybody about them,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yep.
Yeah. And like you said, I think sometimes what you see on social media and on YouTube and on TV is very deceiving because it kind of makes it look like they just kind of scream and run right in and stand there farther from the truth. If you see an elk in the mountains, you're seeing him on his terms.
Yeah.
He's leading the dance. You're just following along.
Yeah, exactly.
You follow?
Yeah.
That's really, and we saw that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they call the shots.
Elusive critters.
Oh man, they are. They don't put up with nothing. It's like they're the toughest and scaredest animal.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. They get any hint of anything out of place. Sayonara, hasta luego, over the mountain, down, over, down, bye.
Yeah. Yeah. They're gone.
While you're just standing there going, oh, hey, I see their dust. Oh, that's a mile and a half away. Yep. Oh, there they go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I say we wrap it up.
All right.
Hey, listen. Don't be afraid to plan a trip. Plan a trip. Do something.
Get out there and do it, man.
Hey, and you know what? The other thing is some of the stuff we're talking about it because from personal experiences. So if you are looking to plan a trip, you have some questions, hey, get a hold of us.
Yeah, get a hold of Cole.
Hey, get a hold of me through Nick.
Yeah.
We'll talk. I'll give you a couple secret spots.
Yeah, there you go.
Couple charter places that I've been, outfitters and different things and places. And
You heard it here first,
hey,
folks.
you want to go to Lake of the Woods? Can't talk to me. I've never been there. Talk to Nick. You want to go to Lake Black? Hey, talk to Nick. Hey, you want to go
Actually, I've
to
fished.
Wisconsin? The UP, never been there. Talk to Nick.
I've fished all around Lake Mille Lacs, but I've never actually fished on Mille Lacs.
Really?
Yeah, I've fished tons of lakes around it, but I've never.
Oh, hey,
gone
and
on
if you're
it,
up that way, you got to go to Reed's. That's the place to go.
which is right on Mille Lacs.
Yep, you got to check. You got to go to Reed's. That is something to see.
Yeah,
If you go there, ask for my buddy Wadia.
it's right next to the DQ.
And if you see Wadia, punch him in the arm for me.
Yep, it's right next to the DQ there.
All right. Well, Ozonics Killerwinds podcast, episode 101 in the books. Hey, next week's episode, we're at a fever pitch. Brink fever pitch of you know what.
Just get ready, guys.
Oh my gosh. We got to stop right now or we're going to just talk for another hour about turkey
I know,
hunting.
we got to stop, but just be ready for some epic episodes coming up.
Oh my goodness.
Because we're about to take a deep dive into chasing some gobblers.
That's what turkeys do. That's if I was a turkey, I wouldn't be spitting and drumming. I'd just be going. That's what I would do. I wouldn't even spit and drum. I would just come in and that would be my war chant. I wouldn't even gobble. I would just do that. I would just walk around and be like, what is that noise? What is that chant I hear? oh, that's Cole the turkey, and he's coming to lay down the law. I'm not a screaming 2-year-old.
See you next
See you next week. Stay classy.